And what I have seen with the way we are using screens now, the overuse of screens, especially with children, is that it is exacerbating the mental health issues that have come in.
Welcome back. You're watching the Dr. Nandi Show. I'd like to introduce Theodore Escarato. She's the executive director of the Environmental Health Trust, a scientific think tank focused on preventable health risks, a policy analyst, and she's also a clinical psychotherapist. Welcome, we're pleased. Theodore, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. So, my pleasure. Tell me a little bit about, in your practice, what are you seeing with your clients as far as EMS and electronics?
About 10 years ago, I started to notice clients coming in with issues which I had not seen before. So video game addiction, girls who are being bullied but yet unable to turn off the phones even though it was not safe and healthy for them. And my clients with ADHD unable to get off the computer. And what I have seen with the way we are using screens now, the overuse of screens, especially with children, is that it is exacerbating the mental health issues that have come in. So I became involved with Environmental Health Trust several years ago, and we are really looking at all the myriad of health issues related to our overuse of this technology.
It's amazing, I see people in my practice, in my patients, and they bring their children and they're constantly on. I do procedures and the driver, I'm talking to the patient and the driver's looking at the phone. It's unbelievable. Now, we know about the positive stuff. Let's say you get a bunch of likes and people tell you good things. What about the negative feedback and how is that affecting us? Somebody says that some disparaging or some horrible comment about you. How does that affect young children and their minds as well?
There is studies that are linking higher use of social media to increases in depression, and we are seeing staggering increases, and specifically for teenagers with suicide as well. I mean, one of the statistics that really shocked me, though it didn't shock me knowing what I know,
Sure,
is the increase in completed suicides for young girls, 10 to 14, 3 times the amount. And what I saw with clients was they wanted to be connected and thought this was helping them, but actually it's a platform where we haven't yet developed healthy boundaries and ways to set limits, and that's because it's addictive as well. And then on top of it, there are issues around the blue light,
right,
which affects our melatonin and our sleep, and that sleep is one of the most important things for our health that our body needs.
And I'll tell you, a lot of our parents, though, and I don't mean to put the blame on people, but our parents need to be a little bit less friendly to their kids. These kids, I see them using these phones as babysitters,
right,
using these phones just to, I don't want to deal with them. We have to take responsibility as parents and take some boundaries, give them boundaries of, this is the time I want you to be on your phone. And of course there's some positive things with them, but you cannot let your child be completely enveloped and completely encircled by this stuff. And many of my patients, the parents, don't even know what their kids are on. And forget about the blue light. They have no idea what their kids are doing. And it's a tragedy. If you heard what she said, that these young girls are completing suicides at a greater rate because of these devices. So we have to take some note. You have some brain imaging that you can illustrate some of these effects that you've been talking about.
Yeah, well, in addition to the psychosocial, there's also the issue of the radiation, which is Environmental Health Trust is spearheading, sharing information about that with our scientific advisors, who you have just interviewed, Dr. Anthony Miller. But what we have in this image is modeling done using MRIs and computer simulations of the penetration of cell phone radiation into the brain of an adult versus a child. So children are more vulnerable, and they actually are proportionately more exposed when compared to an adult. The lighter colors show higher intensity and penetration, and this is actually a slice of the brain. They model it in slices, and as you can see, and they're also showing the waveform. This is slowed down by several billion times, actually.
And so just so you, I can understand that people are watching, the yellow and all the other colors, explain to us, so the child is obviously in the right here, and the adult is the left. So tell me where it's penetrating more, maybe so I can understand it better.
The specific absorption rate, the intensity of the radio frequency goes deeper into the brain regions of a child when compared to an adult. So you see the lighter colors are the higher specific absorption rate is what it's called.
And so if you need more evidence, here's the thing, we're talking about it, we're talking about epidemiologic evidence, which means that looking at entire populations, we're talking about animal studies, now we're giving you brain images. I mean, you just have to wake up. And I'm not saying time to panic, call the cell phone companies and throw it and burn them all. It's not the message. It's that we need to be enlightened. We need to get more education. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much.
I appreciate it. It's been very enlightening to have you and explain all the ramifications. And here's somebody who spent her entire life, talking about how the mind can be affected, and she's seen changes. And that's what compelled her to change her life and her career to help with this. So really appreciate your knowledge and expertise. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Partha Nandi, and if you enjoyed that video, you're going to love the next one. It's full of incredible information to help you start your health hero journey.